Blood's Point, it's sort of a local legend. We went all the way down the road. We didn't know how long it was, but we knew that there was a cemetery.
Travis starts flipping out and just says, "Take off, take off, take off."
As we took off, he reached out the window and he said, "Hey!"
Still to this day, we've actually never been inside of the cemetery.
We've never made it inside of the cemetery. I swear, I heard clear as day. And then...
No, man. I didn't hear anything.
Life, Chad.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Chad. Oh man. Oh, it's flying, man. Oh no, it's flying. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Chad. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Things are wrong. I'm freaking out right now, Chad. I do not know what to do right now. I have chills right now, Chad. Changing leaves, chilly breeze, jack-o'-lanterns, scary movies, werewolves, witches, and of course, ghosts. It's Graggtober and Halloween is the GRAGG team's favorite time of year. The spooky atmosphere is perfect for the thrill of a ghost hunt. If you ask Chad or myself why we ghost hunt, the answer is simple. It's the adrenaline rush. It provides us with the same fear, thrill, and excitement one might get from riding a roller coaster. You've seen us investigate an asylum, a beautiful national landmark theater, and a giant piano factory turned mall. But not all of our ghost hunting experiences were so grand. So, for this Graggoween special Graggisode, let's take a night drive through the country and see how the GRAGG team got their adrenaline rush before the high-def cameras, the laser grid, and the Ovilus. Sit back and let us tell you a few of our ghost stories from before the GRAGG team was the GRAGG team. Graggonites. Chad and I are here in one of Rockford's beautiful parks, admiring all the fall colors. And it's starting to feel like nighttime. The sun's going down. We're starting to get ready for an investigation. One of the most haunted roads in America and a very famous local spot, Blood's Point Road. Blood's Point Road is full of legends, and Chad and I actually have one of the scariest stories of our lives that happened there before we even were the GRAGG team. Let's go take a look. We grabbed our huge supply of dots and headed the Graggmobile 3 deep into the heart of the country. Little did we know that the Graggmobile 3 would take on a mind of its own, and tragedy would lie ahead for both it, and more importantly, our dots.
Travis, our dots! Oh, dots!
We'd like to have a moment of silence for our dots. We weren't going to let the loss of our dot supply and the Graggmobile 3's tragic encounter with a tree ruin our night. So we jumped in the Graggmobile 4 and headed out to get more dots. Then we'd be on our way. Rockford is a pretty big town. It's about 200,000 people. And on the outside of the town, there's just miles upon miles of farmland and country. Some of it's pretty creepy. There's some pretty scary spots. If you look hard enough, you can find them. One of those really scary spots is Sweeney Road Bridge. The railroad tracks run over this really creepy old wooden bridge. And a lot of people say that this place has some haunted history too. It's a very creepy spot. After a quick visit to Sweeney Road Bridge, it was time for the main event. So we hopped in the Graggmobile and cruised a couple miles over to Blood's Point Road, one of the most famous haunted sites in Illinois, and a local legend. A According to Michael Klein's book, Haunting Illinois, 2nd edition, Blood's Point Road, or BLPT as the rusty street signs say, was named after Arthur Blood, whose family were some of the first settlers in the Flora Township area just outside of Rockford. Many locals believe Arthur Blood brought a curse to the land that remains today. Now, Blood's Point Road is the center of many local legends. A lot of reported activity revolves around the bridge that goes over the railroad. The legend of Blood's Point has it that the bridge was the scene of a deadly school bus accident and the possibility of multiple hangings. Some of these hangings are also attributed to Sweeney Road Bridge, which we visited earlier just down the road. It's been said that if you stop your car on top of the bridge and put it into neutral, a force will start to push your vehicle towards the edge of the bridge and onto the railroad tracks. Another major part of the BLPT legend is the cemetery. According to Klein, the cemetery itself is said to be visited by a wide variety of phenomenon, from orbs to a phantom dog to a vanishing barn to the disembodied laughter of children and electrical malfunctions. Many people have also reported a disappearing ghost truck that protects the cemetery and follows anyone who comes near it. Chad and myself have a great scary story from our first visit to Blood's Point years before we ever formed the GRAGG team. Now, we're not saying it was the ghost truck, but we're not saying that it was not. Chad and I actually have a really great ghost story from Blood's Point. It's really kind of the thing that gave us the adrenaline rush to get into ghost hunting.
We decided to take a stroll down Blood's Point Road, which is kind of like it's kind of like an urban myth.
It's sort of a local legend, and it took us forever to find, and we found it, and it was just creepy. We went all the way down the road. We didn't know how long it was, but we knew that there was a cemetery, and they say the cemetery is where a lot of action happens. So we were driving, and we just tried to find the cemetery.
We pulled over, and Travis and I were actually talking about getting out and going into the cemetery, because that's where everybody was like, oh yeah, this is where the most action happens.
It's a lot bigger than I expected it to.
I didn't expect the road to even be that long.
No, like honestly.
Yeah.
As soon as we were getting ready to get out, this truck kind of comes around the corner.
Here's a car.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's turning this way.
Are they slowing down?
Which is weird because it's
like no traffic at that time.
There's no traffic. I mean, we are like miles out of the city. It's the middle of the country. It's like 2 a.m. on like a Tuesday night. There's no reason for really anybody to be driving the roads. The fact that we were there was weird enough.
We didn't see his face or anything.
They're getting into our lane, Travis.
They're coming in our lane.
His arm was hanging out the window.
Creepy looking truck. It was really old. Kind of had these like floodlights on it, just like an old pickup truck.
Travis starts flipping out and just says, take off, take off.
Take off, take off, take off, take off.
As we took off, he reached out the window and he said,
Hey!
And then we took a right, and I remember looking back, because I wasn't driving. I looked back, and this truck, he put it in reverse, and he turned around and then started following us.
Is he turning around? He's backing up. He's turning around.
Finally, we made it down like this one dark road, and we shut off all the lights. We kind of got some distance from him.
Yeah.
Shut off all the lights and just sat there for like 5-10 minutes.
All right. I don't see him behind us anymore. Shut the lights off, baby.
Where did he go? He was right on our tail, man. Like he was
feel like
right on us.
We waited, we thought the coast was clear, and then we thought we'd take off and head back down Blood's Point.
He's probably gone, right? Like
I haven't seen.
He's probably just trying to scare us. I'm sure it's fine now.
Probably. I haven't seen any headlights since we've stopped
man.
here.
I'm freaked out. I want to get out of here.
And from a distance, these headlights just blared on, like down this like little service road.
Did you just see headlights pop up behind us?
Is that him? Is that him, man? Is that him, Travis?
Whoever it is speeding up.
And we could tell by the floodlights on the top that it was
definitely
the truck
the same
that was
guy.
following us earlier. So he followed us, we turned out Blood's Point, and he was flying behind us, and we were freaking out, and it was just terrifying.
Yeah, where was he at? He had to have been going like 70 miles an hour to catch us, man.
He's hitting right on us, Chad.
And then finally, it crept up to us.
We got up to the stoplight, and we were like, we just got to keep going, we can't stop. We go straight, he turns left, and then he just backs in to the middle of the intersection and watches us as we drive out a distance. We could look back, we could see him in the rearview mirror just sitting there sideways in the intersection, just watching us drive by. They talk a lot about the ghost truck. It seemed like this truck was almost guarding the cemetery on Blood's Point.
And it almost vanished as we got away from it, too.
It did.
We just-
And it pulled up, And we took off, and it followed us for a while, but after we got a far enough distance away from Blood's Point in the cemetery, it stopped following us. And then when we went back and got close to the cemetery, it got right on us and followed us again. And then once we passed this intersection, you know, a mile away from the cemetery, it stopped following us. So it seemed like, you know, in the middle of the night, on a weekday in the country, this strange, old, creepy truck was guarding the cemetery. I guess it's one of those mysteries. We'll never know what he wanted.
Yeah.
We'll never know. It was a real life scary movie moment.
It was.
So, you know, it was like the thrill of riding a roller coaster. So we couldn't get enough. And after that, we started, you know, going out and looking for creepy places. And
Still to this day, we've actually never been inside of the cemetery.
we've never made it inside of the cemetery. All right. We're coming up on the Blood's Point Bridge. A lot of the legend of Blood's Point has to do with this bridge. They say that it's possible the children of Arthur Blood, who was the first person to live on this road, were hanged underneath this bridge, and maybe some other people. Down at the bottom is the railroad tracks. But one of the legends is that if you park on the bridge, which we've just done, and you put it in neutral, the hands of a spirit
Are supposed to push you the same exact way that the school bus of children went over to the bridge. We're in neutral. Any spirit want to give this thing a tug? Push it to one side. You got all the energy you possibly need with it.
I'm gonna run some classic tests. We're gonna simplify it and go back to the basic. Use some EVP. And then one of the most basic things, everyone's heard of it. We're gonna use a Ouija board. A lot of people freak out about Ouija boards, but it's actually the same thing as doing an EVP. Just gotta be careful and protect yourself.
This one is a custom-made Ouija board just for GRAGG.
We have a GRAGG Ouija board. We call it the GRAGG board. Chad, let's see it. Let's see the GRAGG board. There it is. About 2 in the morning.
Dead time.
Definitely dead time. And there's no reason
What do you
we
think, man?
should run into anyone.
You want to kind of go out in the middle over here?
I think so.
Let's do it. You hear that?
I did hear that. I'm hoping it was a farm animal.
I'm hoping so. All right, man.
Right here.
While we're going to be using this, I'm going to be recording on our digital voice recorder to try and capture EVP or electronic voice phenomena. See if we can catch any spirit voices on here.
So let's just bend down now.
You ready, man?
Yeah, get some shots. Alright, what do we do?
All right. You got to put 2 fingers on it here.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone buried in the cemetery that would like to talk? If there's any human in the cemetery, move this to talk to us.
My fingers are barely on this thing. Like I'm close to not even touching it.
Yeah, me too. Are you doing that, man?
No.
Can you move this and say yes?
Is that you?
No, man, I was not even touching it.
Is that you, man?
No, that's not me.
I'm
Are you moving it, Chad?
not moving it. I'm barely touching it.
Do you want us to leave? Did you hear that, man?
I did.
Was that an owl or it sounded like a voice?
So the Ouija board moved. There was a couple times where my finger actually came off of it because I was barely even on it.
I know, man. Honestly, there was one time that it moved, and I knew my fingers were not even really touching it.
Yeah.
And then I looked at yours, man, and it was kind of not touching it either.
Like,
I don't know, man. Just shove it in your pocket.
it just quit recording.
Did it?
It just quit recording.
Do you hear this noise? Do you want to go or you want to keep going down there?
Do you want to get out of here? I feel like we're in a bad spot here.
You think so?
If something comes out, I feel like we're in a bad spot.
Do you want to just go, man?
Yeah, I got all this weight in my hands too.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get going while the getting's good, man.
The chance to take a walk down memory lane and revisit so many of these places from our past made it a very special night for Chad and myself. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. Happy Halloween, Graggonites.
Sleeping there.
Travis, our dots! Oh, dots! We gotta be quick now. You're on the pavement.